Hello Internet, Zach here, and welcome back to Collecting the Elements. This episode kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't actually expecting to collect this element when I did. It just kind of happened when I was messing around with some thermite reactions over Labor Day weekend. The element in question is element number 5, boron, which is never found in its free state in nature. It's always found in compounds, mostly borate minerals like borax and sasolite. Industrially, boron is used in fiberglass insulation, borosilicate glass, and as an additive to silicon to make solar panels and integrated circuits. Commercially, it can be found as chemicals such as borax, which is often used in laundry, and boric acid, which is used as an insecticide and sometimes as a lubricant. Now, I'm going to be extracting boron from borax by converting it to boric acid, and then doing a thermite reaction on that. So let me show you how I did that. The first step to obtaining boron is going to be obtaining boric acid. So I'm going to be turning borax, which is sodium borate, into boric acid. First, pour a bunch of this in here. Add distilled water, then stir it until everything dissolves. This was taking forever to dissolve, so I decided to just break out the magnetic stir plate again. So I initially poured in way too much borax. Most of it's in this jar over here. That's the stuff that wouldn't dissolve. And now that the majority of the borax is in solution, it's time to convert it to boric acid. Conveniently, if you have the sodium salt of an acid you want, and you happen to have a stronger acid around, you just mix the two together, and the weaker acid comes off. So, a stronger acid would be this muriatic acid. If I can get the bottle open. This, folks, is what we call adult-proof packaging. Now, since boric acid is not very soluble in water, any minute now it should start precipitating. Okay, this is very slowly precipitating out boric acid, much too slowly. So here's what I had left over from the test run to make sure that this extraction would actually work. So I'm going to use this instead. I'm going to dehydrate it, turning it into boron oxide. So here's the boron trioxide, and the next step is to smash it up into as fine a powder as I can so it's ready for the next step. using a hammer and the measuring cup as an improvised mortar and pestle, I've managed to crush up the boron trioxide into, mostly a powder. It should be good enough for the next step. This next step is really tedious. Grinding this magnesium block into magnesium powder with a Dremel. So here's the first batch of magnesium powder. And I figure I'm probably going to need at least twice this much. So that gets mixed in with the boron trioxide. And I'll be back when I have the rest of this. Okay, I think I should have enough now. So there's the thermite mixture. Aftermath of the thermite. Most of the black material is going to be boron, some of it's going to be magnesium boride, most of the white material is magnesium oxide. So, that did not loosen it. There we go. That's most of it. And it's pretty crumbly. Feels about like lava rock. Here's the thermite gunk. Let's see if I can break it up a little. Put it into the jar. Now that I'm in better lighting, it looks, I don't know if you see it on the camera, but it looks less black and more almost a dark rust brown. That should be a good sign. To get the boron out, first I'm going to add some water. Just enough to cover this. There's already a little bit of fizzing going on. And I'm going to add hydrochloric acid, which will dissolve away the magnesium oxide. The products of the thermite reaction have had time to sit here and digest in hydrochloric acid for most of the day. All of the big lumps have, as far as I can tell, fallen apart. So it's time to filter this off and get the boron. No, be a good coffee filter. The boron is almost done filtering through. So I have a syringe full of distilled water with a little glass nozzle that I made. And I'm going to use that to essentially pressure wash the boron that's stuck to the edges of the filter here and get it all collected down at the bottom. The rinse water is done filtering through the boron. So I'm going to take it out of the funnel. And lay it down on a paper towel so it can dry. And, well, I might even hit that with the heat gun to dry it out a little faster. I'll be back. And there it is, all dried out. What would have taken hours took minutes. And I scorched the filter a little bit in the process. And the filter's become a bit brittle. Okay, a lot brittle. Okay, you stay. You go. That's probably the best I'm gonna do. That doesn't look like a very impressive sample to me. So I'm gonna grab the boron from the first test run, and I'm gonna add that. Well, it's a little better looking sample, I think. At least takes up more space. I don't think boron is going to glow any interesting colors with high voltage and vacuum. But I don't know for sure, so I might as well give it a try, right? That's odd. It keeps turning blue. I wasn't expecting that, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and seal this under vacuum. And it's sealed. So here it is, an ampoule of elemental boron. It may not be the prettiest element sample in the world, but it is still an element sample. And I still haven't figured out what's causing the blue glow. I would expect boron to glow green. So there's probably some kind of volatile impurity, maybe sulfur, maybe something else in here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you know someone else who might enjoy it, hit the share button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell over here. Anyway, see you next time.